Good afternoon. My name is Nancy Shemrai, and I live in the Forest Hills section of the District of Columbia. On June 14, 2010, my 11-year-old daughter Grace was on her way home from John Eaton Elementary School and was hit by a car while crossing Macomb and Connecticut Avenue Northwest at approximately 3:30 p.m. Grace suffered numerous serious injuries, including extensive burns on her face, legs, and arms, a cut that required stitches to her forehead, the removal of glass fragments from her finger, a concussion, and a fractured pelvis. She was hospitalized and required extended physical therapy. To this day, she remains anxious about crossing streets, and while her physical scars are few, she continues to shy away from mirrors. I wanted to share these details with you so that as you evaluate options to stop the red light running madness in the District of Columbia, you will hopefully remember that there are lots of Graces, and that these are real people, everyday people, experiencing serious implications of red light runners. Grace was following all the rules that day. Grace and numerous witnesses verified that she had the light to cross the street. In fact, Grace distinctly remembers that the electronic walk signal countdown showed that she was 7 seconds into crossing when she was struck, and that she advanced to the 4th stripe in the crosswalk. This stripe is approximately right next to the double yellow line. The driver who struck my daughter and pushed her approximately 20 feet on the pavement ran the light and went through not one, but 2 crosswalks. Grace was in the 2nd Macomb, Connecticut crosswalk when she was struck by the car. The incident was witnessed by an off-duty Secret Service officer and his girlfriend who were waiting on the west side of Macomb for the signal to change. He immediately called for help, and the witness notified that Grace's friend had run after the car, and the car continued to advance, but then stopped when the 2nd Secret Service officer came on the scene. Do you know that in the District of Columbia, the fine for running a red light ranges $75 to $150? Do you know that the fine for hitting a pedestrian in the District of Columbia is $250? And do you know that the District of Columbia does not actively pursue out-of-state drivers to actually pay these fines? According to the police, unless the pedestrian dies, there is little more than fines levied, and the police have no authority to pursue the payment of the fines should the red light runner simply ignore them. When I called the Department of Motor Vehicles to find out if they actively pursue out-of-state red light runners to collect these fines, I was told that this is not routine business. Some officials also tell us that police officers may be reluctant to write tickets if the fines are increased. Frankly, this is ludicrous. There are already escalating fines for parking violations, depending upon circumstances. Why isn't there the same possibility with moving violations? The personal moral carrots to not break the law, to not run a red light, and to not hit a pedestrian should be there. Sadly, they are not. That means the sticks, fines, and points on your license for hitting but not killing a pedestrian need to be significant. The D.C. Council can and should make this happen. The D.C. Council should also reevaluate current fine collection practices for out-of-state red light runners and make the necessary changes to see that fines are collected and points placed on licenses for red light runners. As you debate options to evaluate how to stop the red light runner madness in the District of Columbia, I ask you that you remember Grace's story and all the faces behind these stories. Thank you for your consideration.